Day 5 of aggressively reviewing vocabulary. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Currently it is 7 p.m. I wanted to start my revision a little earlier, but today I was really lethargic that after taking a shower, I just drifted off to sleep and I just woke up from that very long nap. And I have a burst of energy at the moment, so I'm ready to tackle the task. Do you guys remember that I reviewed 26 topics from this book, but I wasn't able to go over all of them, so I'm gonna go over the rest of the topics, which is gonna be around 10 topics. So I'll go over these 10 topics that I've organized in this notebook, and if I have more time or energy, I'll also go over some topics from this notebook. This is a new one. This is a very recent one, so there are also, I think, around 19 topics, but maybe I'll be able to cover like 7 to 8 or maybe 7 to 10 topics. So let's dive in. It's 7:35 p.m. and I've just reviewed 6 topics. There are friendship, personal finance, new employment, personality traits, memories, and jobs. But you have to keep in mind that these are the topics that I have already reviewed innumerable times, and that's why the process seems to be a lot faster. And but today I asked ChatGPT to explain some expressions, some of these expressions that I can't seem to be able to wrap my head around. Usually when I review, when I review vocabulary, I end up consolidating the vocabulary expressions that I have a good understanding of. And when I don't understand an expression, I just skip it. I don't really pay much attention to it. But today I decided to turn my attention to these expressions that I don't seem to be able to get my head around, so that I don't just keep going on like this. But I decided to make some changes to the way I present these vocabulary expressions to you starting from today. Instead of just presenting these expressions to you like one after another, I'm gonna be putting them together. I'm gonna try to create a story using all of them. So here are 5 expressions that I want to talk about: run up huge debts, sweated labor, your memory is playing tricks on you, living up your resume, moral support. Run up huge debts. If you run up huge debts, it means that you accumulate a large amount of debt because you borrow beyond your ability to pay, or you spend excessively, so you run up huge debts. So sweated labor is used to talk about work that is performed under poor conditions, with long hours, low wages, and often with very little regard for workers' rights or safety. And the next one is memory. Your memory is playing tricks on you. If your memory is playing tricks on you, it means that you remember something wrongly. And living up your resume, we can also use like jazz up your resume or beef up your resume. When you make it more appealing or engaging, you can use living up your resume. And moral support is something that we provide to people who are going through a tough time. It's like we offer encouragement or empathy to these people. So we say we offer moral support. So but something that I've created is that these days, there is a Chinese clothing company that is accused of using sweated labor. So the workers get paid just a living wage, and they have to work unsocial hours, and they get a terribly heavy workload. And this Chinese clothing company is notorious for using sweated labors, and I believe that their workers may also run up huge debts because they're not well compensated. And so in order to make ends meet, they may need to borrow heavily from other people, and then finally they end up running up huge debts. And also, I think since these workers are not able to dedicate any time to their professional development or to learning new things because obviously they're constantly working. They have to constantly work, apart from the time when they sleep. But sometimes I think their work can even cut into their personal time, and so there's no way that they can liven up their resume in order to seize new job opportunities in the future. If you know somebody who is working for this kind of company, it is important that you offer them moral support, because they're going through this kind of experience. And I don't know how to add memory is playing tricks on you to this story, but yeah, but that's my best effort. So I've got only 4 more topics from this notebook. And these 4 topics are films and book reviews, youth and age, cosmetics and fashion, and I think thoughts and ideas. So let's get on with the task. Hello everyone, currently it is 8:31 p.m. and I can say that I've already revised all of the topics in this notebook, and but here are some expressions that I want to talk about, but I literally don't know how to draw a link between them and turn them into a story, like I did previously. So the first one is see the error of your ways. So if you see the error of your ways, it means that you recognize that your actions or behaviors were wrong, or your beliefs were wrong, and you understand that you need to change them, you need to improve them, like this. And the next one is juvenile delinquent. If you're a juvenile delinquent, you're a young person who commits crimes or who commits offenses, have a fertile imagination. So a person who has a fertile imagination is able to generate and produce a lot of original and creative ideas and plans. And the next one is called feel an occasional twinge. So if you feel an occasional twinge, it means that you feel this brief, sharp pain or discomfort, like not very regularly, maybe occasionally. It's called feeling an occasional twinge. And unmitigated disaster. So if something is an unmitigated disaster, it means that it is like completely disastrous, like a situation that is completely disastrous, and it can be improved in any ways. So we can say it is an unmitigated disaster. And literally, I don't know how to connect these words and create a story, but let's say I'm gonna just improvise it, okay? I'm gonna talk about child actors and actresses. I think child actors and actresses are fascinating. Like, I've always had a lifelong fascination with them. They seem to be very similar to adults. Like, they act like adults, and they also, when they're interviewed, they're able to devise answers on the spot, which actually baffles me. I can't really understand why they're able to do that despite being very young. Maybe because they have a fertile imagination as child actors and actresses. But I also feel like if they have to work under immense pressure all the time, it's going to lead to an unmitigated disaster, because they're going to become burned out, or they'll become disillusioned with the job over time. It's not uncommon for child actors and actresses to grow into juvenile delinquents and to literally change for the worse, because they've had to start working ever since they were young. But also I feel like they're able to see the error of their ways, and usually we can see how they learn and grow and evolve into better people, even though they used to be like juvenile delinquents, or they used to hang around with people that are not good for them. And but I don't know how to talk about feeling an occasional twinge, like literally. I'm just gonna give an example, okay? So even though I'm very young, I tend to feel an occasional twinge in my knees and in my back as well. It is currently 10:35 p.m. and actually I took a 30-minute break to video call my friend and but here I am. Let's go through our ritual and discuss 5 expressions. The first one is demand quick thinking and adaptability. I think it doesn't really need an explanation. I just love this expression. That's why I noted it down. So I learned it when I was discussing text messages. So text messages don't demand quick thinking and adaptability, but when it comes to speaking, talking to people in person or talking on the phone, it may demand quick thinking and adaptability, you know. The next one is a methodical person. If you're a methodical person, it means that you're very like organized and detailed. It can also be used in the sense of being disciplined and precise, you know, which I am not. I'm not a methodical person. And the next one is have a ripple effect on something. Ripple effect is a situation in which an event or action has an effect on something, which then has an effect on something else. So that's called having a ripple effect. And then the next one is drill down. So you can use it like drill down into the details. When you analyze something in detail, you can use drill down into something. And the next one is distort the truth or distort facts. When people distort facts, it means that they present these facts in a misleading way. They change them so that these facts are no longer true. So they distort facts or distort the truth. And the next one is propagate. Propagate can be used with lines, belief, myth. You know, you can propagate lines. You can propagate a particular belief, which means to spread it, like to spread it to a lot of people. Now, I think it's time to make up a story. So being methodical usually requires meticulous planning and, you know, being meticulous planning and a detail-oriented personality. But for me, I'm more spontaneous. I tend to make rash decisions as well, which is not good. I'm not proud of that. But I think because of my spontaneous personality, I also thrive in situations that usually demand quick thinking and adaptability because I don't really schedule or prepare everything meticulously. I don't have a rigorous routine that I adhere to. So when something or someone demands quick thinking and adaptability, I can adapt to changing circumstances easily. You know, but that being said, even though I'm not a methodical person when it comes to certain areas of my life, such as my job, for example, before I hold a discussion in my class, I usually drill down into the details of the topic that will be discussed so that I can have a better understanding of it and also I can offer better guidance to my students. If I don't really prepare meticulously and if I'm not organized, it has a ripple effect. First of all, my students won't trust me. And if my students don't trust me, I won't be able to build a good reputation. I won't be able to make a name for myself in this industry. So it has a ripple effect on my personal and professional development. Oh my gosh, I literally don't know how to incorporate propagate lines and distort the truth into this story. Ooh. If I don't prepare myself for a discussion and if I don't drill down into the details of a topic, I may end up propagating inaccurate information because I don't have a good grasp of the topic that I'm talking about, which will eventually turn me into a person who is unreliable and who always distorts facts. I don't know if it makes sense, but that's the best I can do. Currently, it is 11:30 p.m. and after 4 hours of diligently reviewing vocabulary, I've already studied 20 topics. So let's talk about some expressions that I want to share with you guys. The first one is called riveting. So riveting is the same as engrossing, interesting. Like when something is very interesting or exciting and it can hold your attention, really well, you can say it is riveting. So a lecture can be riveting, a performance can be riveting. And the next one is address grievances promptly. It can be used particularly when you talk about customer service. When customers have concerns or complaints, it's important to address them immediately. So we say address grievances promptly. And the next one is parental guidance. It is not a very difficult expression to remember, but I just want to make sure that I remember the word parental, because instead of parent guidance, parental guidance sounds just better to me. And the next one is escape into fiction. This expression is very simple. It can be used when you talk about reading books, especially fiction. So if you when you read fictional stories to escape from reality, to find entertainment or to find comfort, you can use escape into fiction. That's why I prefer fiction to nonfiction. I think fictional stories have this ability, especially riveting fictional stories, have this ability to transport readers to another world, and literally, readers can escape into fiction and forget about everything. The last one is called transcend generational differences. So it means that you're able to overcome differences in opinions and values between different generations, which is very important to maintain harmony in a family. I know that because I grew up in a family. I grew up in a multi-generational household where I had to live with people from different generations, and not gonna lie, these generational differences are very hard to transcend. Unless we are really understanding and forgiving, it's hard to transcend generational differences. So I'm gonna be ending my video here, and we're gonna see tomorrow again. You guys have no idea that I'm actually in a state of euphoria. I currently have a strong sense of accomplishment because I was able to cover 20 topics within a day. So see ya. Bye.